Oh.
Oh. Well, that didn't work as well as I'd hoped. You know what it is? I'll bet you the streaming has slowed it down. Well, that didn't work as well as I'd hoped.
There it goes.
You know what it is? I'll bet you the streaming has slowed it down. All right, so let's mute that so we don't hear that anymore. Yeah, so, all right. Well, that was a big boomer moment. All right.
It happens.
Thank you for stopping by Indie Dave Comics. I, of course, am your host, Indie Dave. And we are here today with Mr. Sweens.
Hello.
All right. And we're going to be doing some updates on Oddity. We got Scott McCullough coming on later. He's going to talk a little bit about Doorkickers, and then we're going to bounce some ideas around. I'm going to see if I can steal some stuff from his campaign to do with our campaign. That's pretty much what I did when I worked on it the other day. I went to a couple of campaigns and see how they did their write-ups for the tiers. And I was like, all right, I just like literally copy and pasted it and then like put our stuff in there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
Yeah, so I said, okay, well, this sounds good.
Why reinvent the wheel?
Yeah, so whatever they did for their tiers, I was like, all right, well, we'll just copy and paste it. All right, so how you doing, man?
I'm tired. I haven't slept much at all in the last week. I've been knocking out pages, sculptures, images for the IndieGoGo, soccer games, all sorts of fun stuff. Well, the soccer game was hard to watch, but everything else was fun. Yeah.
Is it your little ones? Is it one of your little ones?
My daughter, yeah, she's playing soccer, and her coach absolutely sucks. Like, he's awful. Yeah, and the team blows as well. So, it's just it's hard to watch. So I just tell my daughter to go out there and push people over.
When my little ones, they all played soccer at a young age, and it was all just, especially when they were 5-year-olds, it was just like watching midgets run up and down the field.
Oh yeah. They all just chase the ball. There's no forethought in where the ball goes or anything. They just kind of kick it and chase after it. Yeah, it's but I guess they have fun or something like that.
They don't really get the rules anyway until they're older.
Yeah.
Well, they're really at this age, it's just at that age when they're young, it's just about basically learning to play with other kids on one team versus another team.
Yeah. Well, this is 4th and 5th grade girls, and they
that's older than
it's not, they're not like little kids really, and a lot of them have no idea what they're doing out there. It's interesting.
Is it like a lot of their first year playing soccer?
A few of them, but no, I just think it comes down to their coach just blows, he sucks. Yeah, I tried to go over and help out one time, and he was acting he didn't want me talking to the kids or helping them out or anything. I'm like, I played for like 14, 15 years, like I kind of know a little bit about the game, but didn't matter. He's got some control issues or something. I don't know.
All right, so let's talk about where the campaign is at. We're going to launch here in a week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're launching September 1st, next Sunday. And
I know, it's creeping up on us.
Yeah, where are we at right now on the campaign? We talked
on the campaign.
Good.
We've got most of our perks laid out right now. We have most of the images uploaded on there. There's a few extra perks coming up shortly. Just working out some kinks on them and figuring out how it'll work out financially, and then by Sunday we'll be ready to go, and yeah, hopefully it works out.
Yeah.
It's a bit nerve-wracking. You don't really know what's ahead, so you just do your best and be prepared for any outcomes, and yeah, that's about where I stand with it right now. How about you, Dave?
Well, we got.
How are you feeling about?
First of all, I just want to say hi to Dragon, who's in the chat, and says shoes for some reason. Did I miss a reference? I don't know. But yeah, we did. I worked on the write-up, writing up all the tiers the other day, and then I know we were talking about. You talked about it a little bit on Twitter. You showed the figurine or the statue,
Yeah.
or whatever we're calling it.
Mm-hmm.
Fitting that one into the tiers is going to be interesting.
Yeah, it will be.
Yeah.
I plan on having a pretty limited run of them. Put out maybe 20 for the first people that that jump in there, and I was thinking of just having its own tier with the book, so have the sculpt and the book as a combo tier, and just have it as its own thing, just so it doesn't muddy up the campaign too much. Like, we will have the all in tier, but for the all in, the sculpt, I think, will be its own thing.
Yeah,
Like,
I think
its own
it'll
tier, and
kind of play hell with shipping. I think if we add
yeah,
it with the book.
it
We
could
can do,
it
I
could
saw we
really,
can do like an add-on tier, I think, for that, or just have its own
Mhm.
thing.
Yeah.
I'm trying to
And
find where I have the picture of it. Oh, there it is. Let's see. So we'll call that up, and we'll show for anybody that hasn't seen it. Let me see here. For anybody that hasn't seen it, share screen. There we go.
and if you want,
there it is.
there he is in all of his glory. If you want, I can pull it up in ZBrush and rotate them, see them
Yeah,
from
that's cool.
all
Yeah.
angles, and yeah, here, let me share my screen. Hopefully this works out okay.
All right, we got Humble Marty in the chat too. Hiya, Humble Marty.
What's up, man? Okay, let me. Okay.
Yeah, so we'll have this one as a separate tier with its own shipping, which means if they get done earlier, could get them before the book comes. So I think we can probably arrange that.
Yeah. All right. Are we on my screen yet?
There you go.
Okay, so this is the 3D digital sculpt of him. You can see him in all angles, and yeah, he's got his crazy little hair sticking out, and kind of in his iconic pose. I've got a child poking me with his finger right now, and you might hear a child start screaming shortly.
Hey, if we get
Okay, let me kick this little punk out and lock the door. Okay. Jeez, Pete, where's mother? Where in the world is my
Mrs.
wife?
Dave Thomas
Okay.
Mrs. Dave Thomas was talking earlier. They say if we get any computer programming hacking type people, they can put a computer chip at the bottom, and we can make it like a Skylander.
Well, it looks like a Skylander.
Yeah, it kind of, yeah, with the base and everything. Yeah, so yeah, I'm working with a guy right now that will be printing these out, 3D printer and plastic, and I kept the sculpt rather basic for production purposes. If you put too much detail on there and stuff with printing, I didn't want to have a lot of cleanup on them because when you do 3D prints, there's usually uh, some residual material hanging off of them, and it can get a little messy. So
Yeah.
for this first run, I just wanted to, basically have a very clean, simple uh, sculpt that had a cool pose and was something that, I was pretty confident that we could produce and not have too many issues with. So yeah, that's what we got for the sculpt right now. And yeah, so there we go. Here, I'll exit out of this.
Oh, and I saw the shirt behind you come out.
Alrighty.
It looks really cool.
Oh yeah, thank you. Yeah, I just opened up a shop and threw a bunch of stuff on there, and you know, some people bought stuff. I
Oh, that's
was,
cool.
Yeah. But let me
Do they
stop
do
sharing
baseball
this now.
hats?
I didn't see on that website, but yeah, we could definitely
Do a
do
baseball, like a purple
hats and
baseball
stuff
hat
like
with the
that.
Oddity logo on it.
Mm-hmm. No, it'd be sweet. It's definitely yeah, purple hat, green. It'd be maybe a little tacky. Oh well.
All right. Let's see. So what else we did? All right. So some of the tiers we're looking at. I have been in touch with some of the kind of bigger named artist guys. I won't say his name yet because I haven't. I mean, he gave us a quote, and I haven't heard a definite yes back. I mean, he seemed like he'd do it, but we got a poster coming, and once I announce it, the name's a big name. It's going to be really cool, and I think you guys are going to be
Yeah.
really excited about it. Yeah, once I get the definite 100%, we're good to go from him, then we'll make the announcement. But he seems.
Yeah.
I
He's
mean, he gave us a quote. He's on board. He seems like he's on board.
yeah. He's kind of comic skate royalty, I guess. He's definitely a big name out there.
All right, and let's see. So that I don't know. How are we gonna make that a stretch goal, or is that gonna be?
I think it would make for a good stretch goal.
Right.
Then I was up in the air about it either being the stretch goal or just having it in the all in
All
tier,
in.
possibly. Um,
But
yeah, we'll have
people,
to.
I think when they see it, people are gonna want it. I don't know, as maybe as
Yeah.
even an add-in. But I think it's
Hmm.
something that if we make it a stretch goal, then we can give it to everybody. I think everybody's gonna
Yeah.
want it.
Hmm. For sure. Okay. Yeah, and it's this past week though, man, just with the 9 to 5 job and then, coming home, drawing, sculpting, all that stuff, I'm just spent. And now it's like, this week we just have to promote. Like we have to
Oh yeah,
keep pushing this out there as much as possible and, you know,
yeah. I'm
get as many people
gonna.
on board.
I'll be either running a live stream or trying to get on people's live streams as much as I can this week. So we're
Hmm.
gonna try to schedule as many as I can. So if I'm not on somebody's
Definitely.
show, then I'll definitely be running a live stream
Okay.
pretty much every
I'm
day this
going
week. Yeah.
to,
With
yeah,
a
it's,
big
I
push
never
on.
imagined it'd be this much work though. It's been insane.
Yeah, I'm always because
Okay.
the thing that the little things that kind of niggle at me, like we got this artist that we're just waiting for the full on green light, and it's like, man, I really
Hmm.
need him to actually. I really wish the work was ready so we could put it on the page. We're just gonna have to put it up as the
Yeah.
update. And
Yeah, it's one of those things that like, there's just nothing
yeah,
we can really do about it. And, other campaigns go through the same thing
yeah.
and You know,
I mean,
you just add the art when you can.
Yeah, you're just always going to be like that.
Okay.
Oh my God, it's not quite good enough. It's not quite ready, no matter how ready it is.
Yeah. No, for sure.
Yeah.
And we got a bit of a bump in our sign-ups, so
Oh, really?
that's good
where
news.
are we at right now?
We are no longer at 88, so we can't be called Nazis.
Yay!
Yay!
They still call us Nazis.
Yeah, I'm
They will.
sure. I'm sure. Yeah, it happens. Oh well. No, we are at 91 in just about a week. Yeah, and I went to Reddit today. I went on all sorts of websites and just spammed them. just started spamming it everywhere, and you know.
See, I know I went to a couple of these places, and it's like, oh, if you spam, they're just going to kick you off. So I've been kind of politely spam, where I'm like, hey, thanks for letting me join, and hey, check out this project we're doing, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, gingerly spamming.
Yeah.
You know? Oh, okay. Yeah, I went on Facebook and hit up a bunch of art groups and stuff like that, and you know.
Yeah, I signed up for a bunch of indie comics groups, and I think a lot of the same people are in the same groups. I signed up for 5 groups, but I know it's like the names of the same people are in the same 5 groups.
They're going to be like, geez, oh Pete, what's up with this guy? Good. Now my son keeps trying to open up my locked door right now. It's driving me insane. He just can't chill out.
It's like my 6-year-old. He does the same thing. All right, so let's see. So this week we wrote up all the. Well, I guess it's all the tiers. We'll probably add some more. You know, we got guys in the chat. If you want to chime in, I got kind of a couple questions. Is for the upper tiers, like we're doing stuff where you get a book and a sketch, or you get a book and some art from the book, like a page or an inked page or whatever. Should the book be the original cover, or should it be the variant cover? Because I think for the all-in, the all-in should have both covers. But for some of the upper tiers, I'm not sure if people are going to want, and if it's like, if people want to choose, I'm not sure how to set that up.
Dad, got in with this thing.
Okay.
I need to talk to you. I need to talk to you, Dad.
I'm sorry. He's got a sword to me right now.
Okay.
Good grief. That's awful. Here, can you take over for 1 minute? I am going to go grab my wife.
I think I can handle it.
Okay, I'll be right back.
Yeah, so you guys in the chat, what do you think? Because we're going to have the regular cover, and we're going to have the variant cover. And a lot of the upper tiers, like if you get like I said, the artwork or sketch or something like that, and you also get a book, should we make it the variant cover book, or should we make it the regular cover book? If we can only choose one. I'll see if there's some way to choose between the two. But yeah, so I set up all the tiers this week, or at least all the perks that we got, and probably I think they're tweaked as much as they're going to get. We got the write-up done. All the business stuff is on his end, all the bank accounts and business licenses, all that. That's all on his end. We're kind of quoting out a couple of printers. I'd like to have all that set up before we finish the book. We're about halfway through the book right now, at least estimated, because it may end up, it's going to be definitely 48 pages. Let's see. So all right, so you're saying have people pay extra for the book, because that's basically what's going to happen. I don't know because we have like set prices for the pages. I'm just looking at what you're saying, Durham or Dragon. Just throw the book as an add-on, so that you select the one you want. All right, we'll look into that. Because basically, how I have the perk written up is you can get the original art plus you get the other stuff that comes with the book, including whatever comes with the stretch goals. And I have it written up as you also get the book. So you think we should leave the book off and allow them to buy the book separately and just keep all those tiers separate? All right, we'll think about that. I'll ask them about that. Let's see, what else so I did the write-ups. We got almost all the perks. We're going to have the book and a special pinup. And like I said, I want to do. Are you guys into trading cards like I am? I like the trading cards, and I'm kind of into doing that. You think that will sell more? I mean, sell more books? I know Doug does it. He has a bunch of trading cards, and everybody else, I guess, seems to do one or two. So I have a couple of ideas for doing trading cards because we actually, when I tried to get a hold of artists, I tell you I won't say everybody, but the first guy that he turned us down, not because he didn't like the project, but because he was already busy and under contract. The first person I went to was Kelsey Shannon.
Mm-hmm.
And
he was actually really I was back for a minute there and my mic was on mute because
I muted
jackass
it.
like that.
If you're going to be talking about
okay, yeah. Lachlan was probably screaming anyway.
So the first person I got a hold of was Kelsey Shannon, and unfortunately he's under contract, so he couldn't. He wanted to do the book, I think, or he would have been interested in it, but he's under contract.
Yeah, he had some good things to say. And I also contacted another comic book artist, and I'm still waiting to hear back for sure if he can do the pinup, but he does a bunch of very voluptuous women pinups, and his name's Yuko Smith. He was actually one of my instructors back in school.
Oh, really?
And, real cool. Yeah, real cool guy. And he does amazing marker drawings. Like he busts out, just these amazing marker drawings, and then they're always pin-up chicks and stuff like that. So I'm seeing if he will do a pin-up of Paige for us and do his own thing with it. He was asking me like, how do you want me to go about doing this? Like, do you want it to be like what I usually do? I was like, yes, of course. That's exactly what I want. I want it to be absolutely over the top, ridiculous. Like, it'd be great. So I'm waiting back to hear from him. He seems pretty interested in it, but I don't know if his time will be open because I told him I'd probably need it within the next month. So I don't know if he'll be able to pull that off or not.
Yeah, the dates I gave for the artists we're doing is for the poster is I said November, but I also said the sooner the better.
I think
he's here. Actually, Scott McCullough's here. We're gonna add him to the chat. Hey, Scott, how's it going?
It's going good, man. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you. A little bit quiet.
How about now?
All right. Yeah, we got you.
All right.
No, I can't just.
Sorry, I'm late, boys.
How's it going, man? How's the book doing?
The last couple of days have been a little flat, but it's you got good days and bad days. I can't complain really.
How many days in are you?
So today's day 34.
Oh, all right.
I don't know if you guys have seen it, but I do daily Twitter posts, and so I always try to theme it up a little bit for each one. So today was a brand new page of art that I just got back from Ian. It's actually the preliminary for that page, so I've already given him some notes, so it won't be the final version. But man, his stuff is just so good. I have a hard time. Like when I get it, I want to post it.
Oh, that's cool. That's awesome. Let me see.
Yeah, I love this right here. This is so awesome.
I got a new backer.
There you go.
All right. Well, we're gonna.
Yeah, this image is so great. I mean, you know.
I love the dude shooting out the like plasma blast from his fingers. Like hold it like it's an actual gun. Like
finger guns, right? Yeah.
Yeah, it reminds me.
There's an anime character that does that. I guess they call it spirit gun or something like that. So I mean, I had no idea, but and when I specified this to him, I didn't say, "Oh, he needs to be shooting like he's shooting his fingers like a gun." That's something that Ted came up with, and because of that, I'm going to use it later in the book. So it's like just those happy accidents that when you work with talented artists.
Yeah.
No, I mean that's what's really cool when you just let your artist be an artist, and you don't like micromanage them or anything like that. And tell
Absolutely.
Of course, there's times where you gotta, hit the brakes on them because us artists are crazy people and sometimes get carried away with things, but there you let your artist do his thing, and you will have cool things like this that will add to the story. And also this perspective's great too, with the gun up in the front here. You got the shells firing out. It's really awesome. It's just a very strong piece.
Well, I mean, I'll be honest with you. I think this. I keep kind of coming back and thinking, man, this would be a cool, like if you were just to pull out the figures and, I don't know. I think you could do it. So if you pull out the figures, you could make a T-shirt just of that, right? And then maybe just keep the door frame. And then the other way to do it would be just to take that rectangular front cover image and turn that into like a T-shirt. So I don't know. I mean, I think there's some pretty cool ideas.
Oh no, it's endless. It's just the composition of it so strong that
the other one I think narwhals would make a great T-shirt too.
Do you have it up? Where is it?
Actually, it's if you just scroll down, you can see it.
Let's see.
Oh, you went past it.
It's taking a second to update. My internet's slow today for some reason.
All right, now you went. You'll get there, man. You're bracketing.
My internet's been slow all night. I think the
that's it right there. I think that
there we go.
Yeah, those figures right there would make a cool. I just love that image too. I got so lucky with both my covers. So, I mean, sometimes you get, you'll get like one cover it's good cover, but then and then another cover that's really strong, right? But I think I just lucked out. I mean, and that's originally it was going to be like a main cover and a variant cover, but then when I saw them together, I'm just like, instead, it's just going to be cover A and cover B. And especially when people were asking me to buy narwhals by itself, and then I just made a second. You get your choice. You buy whichever one you want.
No, I love his art because it's like really kind of simple, but it tells the whole story. It's not overdone. It's not like when I draw, I put way too much into it, and then I have to take stuff out. And it's a sign of a really strong artist to be able to just put down the smallest amount of lines and get the image across.
So there's that just efficiency, right? I mean, being able to convey the most information with the fewest lines possible. I mean, not a lot of guys can do it. I think, that's one of the reasons why I think his style looks kind of not anime, but animation-ish. And it's not because it's cel-shaded, but it's very efficient. And it also does a great job of conveying action and dynamic kind of activity.
Yeah, the artist of Hellboy, Mignola, he does it's not quite this style, but he does very, very simplified images, but they're always iconic, and the second you see it, you're like, you know exactly who that artist is.
Yeah,
It's just
absolutely.
so iconic. And it the funny thing is with his work, people look at it and they think, you know, he just busted out in a few minutes. And really, it takes so much work and so many years of drawing to be able to achieve those type of shapes and composition that he pulls off. And Narwhal kind of has his own take on it, which is really cool. Like, that is a really sweet image right there.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's another image you could do anything with. And also that just the two styles are so different, you know, from was it Layman's picture and then this one? Like it's such a stark difference that,
Yeah, stylistically
you know,
it's very different. And then if you compare those to what's going on on the interiors, that's a kind of a third kind of style.
Mhm.
You know, so you know, I'm okay with having different kind of styles, maybe even some
for
styles
sure.
that aren't necessarily an obvious choice for a given genre or something. Like, you know, when I first started talking to Ian a long time ago, he was concerned. He's like, hey, I don't know that, you know, with your military theme, I don't know that my more kind of, you know, I can't remember how he described it, but the easy way to say it is kind of cartoony would work. And I was like, no, that's not true, man. It absolutely will work, you know, because he has his own strengths, you know. And so, you know, even so here's the thing, like if I had my druthers, my dream artist for Doorkickers would probably be like Michael Golden, like a dark Michael Golden, right? You know, perfect guns, you know, expressive faces, but with a kind of a moodiness to it. And you get the moodiness through the color, I think. But that said, that you know, I mean, there's probably not an artist in Comicsgate that I couldn't work with and be happy with. I mean, because everybody kind of has their own take on that stuff. But
for sure,
the key thing is that the artist values what's important to the writer, and the writer allows the artist to set up some parameters, but then as long as the artist stays in those parameters, let them kind of go wild.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I mean, I've worked with writers where they are, you know, they're like, we love your style, but let's try something like more this type of artist. And like right then and there, you're like put off as an artist. You're like,
because
okay, now
you're not telling me the action is wrong or whatever. You're telling me my style is wrong.
Yeah, and like
so that's what. So one of the things that me and Clint from Sweetcast have talked about a bunch is the idea of as a creator, you got to be not just so you know, if you're a writer, that's great, or if you're an artist, you're an artist. But in addition, you've got to have you've got to be a publisher, and a publisher is a businessman, and they're not an artist; they're a businessman.
Yeah.
You have to make decisions. And so that's one of the kind of things that as a publisher, you have to compromise, you know, you have to, you know, all right, if as a writer, I may feel very strongly about something, but ultimately I have to compromise for the good of the book as a whole. So you kind of force the writer hat to make a call maybe that you otherwise wouldn't want to do, but you know what I mean? I mean, that's.
Oh, for sure. And dude, this style works. It works great. Like it completely, you know, it sells it. Like there's no issue with it, you know, being quote unquote cartoony or anything like that. Like it doesn't even come off as cartoony as some books. Like actually,
no, absolutely,
it's real solid.
Well, and I tell you, one of the things I really credit Farrah, my colorist, with really kind of bringing a very realistic and grounded look to the world with her tones, you know, her colors. I just sent when Ian sent me this page today, he and I kind of had an exchange about something, and in the end, I was like, why don't you work with Farrah and you guys to figure out what would look cool on this page between your art and her colors? You know, because a lot of times, that's where, as the publisher, I have the ability that the writer doesn't have. I have the ability to tell those two, hey, why don't you guys work together to make it better versus like you just do your piece and then I'll send it over to the colorist. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Your colorist does a great job though, because it really does set the mood. Like if you didn't have a strong colorist, it could throw things off completely. But
you're spot on.
This is great. No, this is great.
Yeah, I've just been so lucky.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's a little bit of luck, but you had an idea in your head, an image, or at least a rough idea in your head, and you went with it.
But ultimately, though, you got to find the right people, and then when you're not able to find exactly the right person, then it's just a matter of where are you willing to compromise. And And I mean, you guys know if you had a dream version of your book in your head, it would probably look a little different than what your book really looks like.
Yeah.
And anything that's a little different, that is the compromise, right?
Yeah.
One of the stretch goals, if we reach 50,000, I'm going to hire a new artist. At 100,000, we're going to get a new writer.
So it will no longer be our project.
It will be. You guys will just be the publishers.
Yeah, right. That's hilarious.
So how long do you guys work together?
What, like a couple months?
Yeah. When we get to the May or June, I think.
May or June, something like that.
How did you guys hook up?
Well, Dave runs this show, and back in like January, he had me come on because I'm the artist and colorist, all that stuff for Oddity. Like, you're just saying like if in your head, if you made your perfect book, it'd be different because you have to compromise. Well, I made all the shot, I called all the shots on this book because it's my art, and it's, it was basically, my idea. And then I went on to Dave's show, and I got along with him well, and I really enjoyed his tweets and stuff. I thought he was really funny, and we just continued to do some shows together. And then we had the guys from Shinobi Sasquatch and Von Klaus on, and then I was drinking that night, like on the stream, and at the end of the night, I was just like, Dave, you want to write my book? And he was like, that'd be awesome.
Yeah, why not? I guess.
Yeah. Well, and I said yeah because I remember the first time his stuff popped up in my timeline on Twitter, I was like, where'd this guy come from? Because it's like to me, he just came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Well, it happened like he did, and then on that night, like I said, he said he'd been drinking a lot. So when we finished talking, I was like, yeah, probably he had some kind of fight with his writer, and by morning they'll have made up or whatever. So at first I wasn't sure, and it was a couple of days before finally I kind of got back to him, like, hey, you still want to do that? And he's like, oh yeah, absolutely. So he sent me over the first, I think, 15 pages.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, so what's the story here? What's going on? It was like, no, just do what you want. So I scripted the first like 7 pages.
Mm-hmm.
Then I gave him an outline of how I thought the rest of the story should go. And he was hired.
I wanted my writer to be creative with the story when I sent it to him, because like as kids and stuff, you look at an illustration and you create like your own story to it. And I wanted to hear what he had to say, and he came up with a solid script. And then we went over my idea of the story and where we would take it, and then we just kind of merged everything together. And I'm really happy with it. I think it's going to be a real fun book and stuff. And it's nothing. It's it's very silly. There's a lot of horror elements in it, and it's nothing to like change people's perspective or anything like that. It's just a fun, silly book, and that's what I wanted to do, because
one of the things, I mean, your book is one of the there's several like whimsical books that just, you know, if you want to be like super serious, you can be critical, but how can you be critical of something that doesn't take itself seriously, you know? And
well, exactly.
I don't mean like you guys, for instance, don't take your book seriously. I think you do, but obviously the topic, you know, is not a like, oh my God, we're curing cancer here. You know, this
exactly.
This is Moss 3. You know, this isn't that. This is fun. You know,
you can be critical because that's what a lot of the Marvel lifestyle brand stuff is like. They try to be super silly or whatever, and it comes off as dumb.
Right.
You can not take it seriously, and it'll come off as just stupid. You read it, and you're like, ugh, oh my God, this is terrible.
Well, see that
you can actually, you know, I want to write it in such a way we're going to have some, you know, kind of Easter eggy stuff. The story has to be solid, and the characters have to be good. Once you like the characters and you like the story, then you can have more fun. There's, like I said, it's a lot of jokes. There's a lot of humor. We're going to have some, you know, some horror stuff, some, you know, blood and that kind of stuff. But for the most part, I want you to, when you're done reading the book, you're going to be like, you know what? That was a fun read. I had fun reading it. I laughed, and, you know, I can't wait for the next one.
No, absolutely. And you know, it's kind of like those classics, like Cerebus or Bone or some of, you know, none of those were like, you know, super serious books, but they had layers, you know, there was depth to them.
Yeah.
They had, and, you know, and so that's what made them great. You know, hell, even like a Calvin and Hobbes type thing, you know, I mean, it's hard to take Calvin and Hobbes super seriously, but when you sat down and you read a book of that, it's like, wow, there's a lot going on here. And you know, I mean, hell, even the names, you know, I mean, that's it goes into religious kind of criticism almost.
Yeah, it does. No, with our book, there is, I mean, there are like the overall theme is about taking on responsibility.
Can you just go back up?
Oh, good.
Oh, yeah, sure.
So the guys with the night vision goggles here, this is the kind of attention to detail that I love from Farrah. So if you look at those, so when you look at night vision goggles, you know, a lot of times in comics, they'll just make them red or they'll make them green, you know, just a green light, right? Well, they're lenses, right? So in the lens, if you have a light going through it, especially if you're looking at it off angle, you get kind of like a lens flare effect inside the lens.
Yeah.
And so if you go on to like real pictures of night vision goggles, this is what they look like, you know, with that kind of like lens flare going in, and you get some depth to that, you know, or whatever. And that's the kind of detail that I love that she puts into this.
Yeah, it just sets it off. And since it's done in a silhouette, you know, it's all black there, and then you've got the lens there, it draws your eye to it, and you know immediately what you're looking at. Like it's, you know, it's done very well.
Well, she pulled that. I mean, like I didn't have to ask her for that. She just kind of, I showed her some reference. She asked me for references for the goggles, and I think she thought I was going to send her like another comic so I could show her what I wanted to look like in the comic.
Yeah, you sent her the real thing.
A picture of the real thing, and then she's like, all right, and she just made it like that. It's awesome.
Yeah, I was watching an Edwin show the other night, and they were talking about all the different guns and the very specifics about the guns and stuff, and you guys really got attention to detail going on in everything.
Well, I tell you what, that's really important to me. You know, I know the majority of my audience won't be able to, like, if you look at that picture that Ted did, they won't be able to go through and pick out all the gear in that picture, right? But, you know, it's important to me that stuff comes off as right for like the 5% of the guys who will, you know who have been there and they've done that and they know what their gear looks like. You know, it's gotta feel right. I mean, you know, I'm not gonna make any bones about it. I'm not making a documentary here. But I want it to have that real world feel to it, so, especially to somebody who's been there and they've done that and they know the gear. you know, and they know the language, you know, so it goes beyond just the references I provide to the artist. It goes to how the guys speak and the kind of personalities, and these guys are complex people, just like any elite soldier. I mean, when you're talking about Delta Force and things like that, these guys have like an average 125, 130 IQ. I mean, they're smart guys. I mean, they're really smart. That means depth. And so now they may come off as knuckle draggers from time to time, and that's not to say they aren't knuckle draggers. They can be knuckle draggers. They're just smart ones, So trying to work that in. I mean, you guys haven't been able to see it just in the 6 pages I've provided, but I think you can get a little taste of that even in these first couple pages. So, and you'll do, and I'll expand on that as the book goes along.
For sure. No, it's a real solid project, though.
Yeah, I really like this style here.
So if we get to 10,000, we're going to add in, for 10,000, we add 10 pages. We got the 10-page backup. I don't know if you guys have seen that. If you haven't, I'll send you the link. But it's a
for sure.
Yeah, it's a actually, you know what? Let me send you the link to that, and maybe you can show it on the screen for me.
Do it up.
I've got like a master link document here that's got all my links in it. But so this is a story that I did back in 2015 at a different company, and it was a 10-page story in an anthology, but that didn't go anywhere, and so I retained the rights to it. So I'm like, I'd be stupid if I don't use this somehow.
Yeah.
So I'm just dropping it here in the chat.
What you can do is you can go to the link and you can share screen.
Oh, you want me to do that? I could do that.
Yeah, it would just be easier, I think. I mean,
you want me to make it easy on you? Okay, all right. Well, I'd like you to move my house and ask you
one screen at a time.
I'm just giving you guys. All right, let me screen share. Application window. I'm going to share my entire screen and share. Okay. All right. Am I sharing my screen?
Let me get rid of mine.
Here we go. Can you guys see this?
Okay. We've got
Ted's in the chat.
There we go. Yep.
Ted's in the chat. Hey, Ted.
Okay.
All right. So this is the original 10-page story. This is done by a really talented artist. I wrote it with and then the artist is Douglas Franchen from Brazil. He's an awesome dude. He's very talented. He was the original artist I went to for this current project we're working on, but ultimately he wasn't available. So I'm going to see if we can't get him for a print, but still awesome dude. But as you can see, let's see. So here's the first page. And so
that's sweet.
So it really kind of gets into some of the background of who they are and what they're doing in this world. And sorry about that. I had to apologize to my wife off camera there.
It happens.
It does. That was why I didn't show up on time.
Yeah.
And so the idea, so if you go back here, you've got Jigna. She's the intel specialist, and this is Bill. He's who is the team leader for Panzer Demon, and this is their side. They're both getting getting debriefed after the mission, and they're giving their competing versions of what happened. He's a Delta Force operator who's never been involved in this crazy supernatural stuff, and she is, she's a trained operator that's more used to this. So it's kind of neat seeing the back and forth between the two. So the idea is if we get this if we get this
That's a cool shot.
up to 10,000, we're gonna remaster this because I had to make some compromises on the language based on, just age appropriation, age appropriation, being age appropriate, and some other things, and some stuff where he was like, "Hey, this is a little too jargony." Well, sometimes jargony is what you got to be because that's the truth of the story. So it's just
if everybody on the team is a tight team in military, it's gonna be jargony because that's how everybody talks.
Yeah, that's exactly right. So, so anyway, this is the first 10-page. So I was giving away this. So anybody who signed up to my mailing list gets a free copy of this, the PDF. So if my mailing list is still out there, hell, let me put the link in the chat.
Yeah, do it up.
Because if you join my mailing list, you get not only this, but you also get access to the secret tier, which is a significantly discounted tier over the standard one. So
yeah.
And then, so this story really establishes Stillon. He's my kind of, my bruiser, my brick of the ship. What does that sound?
Oh,
that
my dog
is snoring, right?
That's my dog.
I thought it was. I was like, is that a dog snoring?
Yeah, that's my dog snoring.
That's hilarious. But Stillon grabs a sword and just goes down on this demon guy. We call them Odins in the book. So it's called that stands for other dimensional entity. And so there's this story that gives you some of the backstory on how the wildfire team for Doorkickers is formed. And then in addition, there's this memorandum that kind of has some of the different kind of, so it looks like a secret document, No,
that's
redacted. Even has the caveats at the bottom, Originally it was top secret, but I think the editor changed that. I think he was afraid they'd get in trouble. But anyway, so there's just, so that's, and then it's got a little bit of, this concept stuff in the back. And so, it's a good little project. And, the idea is we're going to add it to the main book if we can get to 10K.
Yeah.
Drop that mailing list and I'll put it in the chat.
Yeah. Let me see. Oh, I think
you can drop it in the private chat and then I can stick it in the regular chat.
Yeah, I can do
that. Very, very cool. That's some real impressive stuff too. No, I like that the cover with the footprint, the boot print, and then the figures through there. If you did a shirt, I would try to incorporate that design over what you have now.
Like Ted's. The footprint over Ted's.
I think that would really create a solid design for a T-shirt or any pinup or anything like that.
Well, I need to see, that was made by some graphic designer that was working for that company back then. So maybe I need to find a talented graphic designer who can hook me up with her.
It's really not hard to pull something off like that. It takes probably about 5 minutes of throwing it down. Yeah, I work with graphic designers, for my day job. So, and I went to school for it, so I know a little bit about how these things work. All right, I really like that stuff though. There's some really cool art. The guns look great.
I've been totally negligent. I've got to update my stretch goals. I've got to do that, and I've got to send some. And if you like the backstory, the video that I've linked here it's a little on the long side, but it's an audio drama that was made by these guys at the Nightmare Alley YouTube channel, and it's just a really cool kind of deep dive into the backstory of the world that the Doorkickers is set in. It's based on a lot of the kind of the book, the story Bible stuff, that kind of world building you do when you're you got to think things through. So I just kind of gave all that stuff to them, and they created this. So it's really cool.
Oh wow! I just looked at Twitter. Sean Davis of Pillow Man and Blanket Boy just said that he thinks you tweeted out the StreamYard link. The StreamYard.
I probably did.
Yeah. No, it doesn't matter. If someone wants to jump in here,
get some other guys in here, man.
Bring them on. I see that happen all the time.
Yeah. Like, sorry, guys. I'll delete the
it's cool.
That was 25 minutes ago.
All right.
I retweeted. I retweeted it out there, so obviously I didn't.
I thought I copied the YouTube link.
Gosh,
if proof nobody watched the show. Because nobody accidentally come in.
Yeah, like I'm surprised no one popped up and shared a screen with like gay porn on it or something like that.
That's almost got in. Ed, man, you should get on some streams, man.
Oh, actually, though, what's nice is
you need to
let you in, so it's not like they would automatically pop up. I would see them down there and be like, "Who the hell is that?"
Yeah. They go backstage, whatever,
in the green room.
Yeah, the green room. Yeah, that's how it is on Ethan's stream. Like, we've got that chat, and there's so many people in there, and he puts a link up there, and it's like,
I think that's where you and I were on the same. We were on Ethan's channel together, weren't we?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I came in at the very end.
Or I couldn't remember exactly who.
Yep, I came in at the very end of it.
That's right.
Said very, very few words. Well, he put that link out, and then I fell asleep on the couch, and my wife wakes me up like, your phone's blowing up, and I look at it, and it's Dave. He's like, Ethan's starting a stream, and I think your group's invited in. And then I wake up, and I like throw some clothes on, and I'm half asleep, and then I'm in front of 1,000 people, like half asleep, trying to pitch my book, and it didn't go too smooth for me, but maybe next time.
Yeah.
Well, you had what's his name? He was like pushing you pretty hard. What's his name? I can't think of his book. He posts all the time.
You talking about Adam?
Yes.
Adam? He posts all the time. Adam?
You said Post. Adam Post.
Yeah. Yeah, he was really talking you up in that stream.
Yeah. Well, and Ethan
he
was talking you up too before you came in.
Ethan? What? Who?
Yeah, he
Ethan
was.
Did?
Yeah, EBS was doing it.
I didn't hear.
Yeah, I mean, so I guess he was talking. You guys are going to do a cover together or something?
Yeah, we're doing a like a jam cover. Like,
That's what he was talking about. That's how I found out about that. That's cool.
Yeah, well, some he goes by was it Kino Subway on Twitter, and he tagged Ethan in one of my pieces, and he was like, "You gotta let Sweens do a variant cover with Cyberfrog," and then he answered, and he was like, "Absolutely," and I was like, "Wow, that's crazy." And then I talked to him through DM, and he's like, "Why don't I draw Cyberfrog and you do Oddity, and we'll just do it as a jam cover?" And I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
Dude,
for sure.
When you finally have that art to show, I mean,
I know, yeah,
you're gonna sell books just talking about it, but once you have that art to actually show, oh man, where's your campaign?
I mean,
well, right now we launch next Sunday.
Oh, so you haven't launched yet?
Yeah.
Okay. No. What's your? Are you doing fixed goal or flexible goal?
We're probably going to do flexible, I imagine. Well, no. Well, I was thinking of how long we're doing it for. I think we're just going to settle for like 3,000 or 4,000 and just put it
I
at
think that's
that.
safe.
And
I mean, you guys shouldn't have any trouble getting
Yeah.
there, and then that'll put you. Here's what I would do. I would do like 3,000 or 4,000, but I'd make it a fixed goal, and then that way there is some
Yeah.
like there's a reason why you got to get to where you need to get, and then
Yeah.
have you guys ran all the numbers and figured out how much it's going to cost and everything?
We have
Yeah, I got a rough. Yeah, we got an estimate of where it is. I mean, we've talked to some people, and they just kind of like guesstimated and threw a number up there. But I wanted to make sure that everything was set, and
I mean, you just don't want to put yourself in a bind if
exactly. That's exactly it. Like, but the good thing is I don't have. What's up?
I'm overcautious about the numbers. As far as like, I'm like scared to death. It's like, oh yeah, we got all this support on Twitter or whatever, and it's gonna be like 5 people.
Yeah. No, I'm not counting any chickens yet. Like, there's good things coming our way, but I don't know if that's going to carry over or not. Like, it all just depends. Like, I've seen some phenomenal looking books that didn't do much of anything, and then I saw some books that weren't bad, but they like technically weren't done to the level of some of these books, and they did great. So like, I think it's really about how many eyes get on it, and just pushing it and promoting it.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And like I had big success on Ethan's show, but I'll be honest with you, I was on like 3 shows in a row. And I had I was on Mandy's show and her Red Gaze, and I got a lot of traction on their show too. So between the two those 2 days, like that's what put me over, that got me funded and then put me up to essentially like 6,200. So it was about I want to say a $1,600 3-day period. And all it takes is getting your stuff in front of people. As long as you got a strong project and you're not some kind of chode, and I think you're gonna be able to be successful. Now, when you throw that EVS cover down, oh geez, man, I think
I mean, a lot of people have asked me like DMs and stuff like, how did you do that? Like, how did you get a hold of him? Why is he? I'm like, I don't know why. Like, I understand that. Yeah, it just happened, and like is really crazy. But I'm very thankful for what he's doing, and it's huge. Like, I'm not gonna lie about that. Like,
did you guys see me on the crowdfunding comic show?
Not yet.
All right, so I did Billy Cucci's crowdfunding comic show earlier last week. And that was, first of all, that was a great experience. I'd never met and sat down and talked with Billy before. I mean, I was very familiar with him from the 90s, even though I wasn't a huge fan. And then I've watched him on several streams, just to kind of prepare for the show. And so we just clicked, and he offered to do a freaking cover I was thinking like a pinup or something like that, and he said, well, I should do a cover, and I'm like, I'm gonna hold you to
it. Of course.
So for the next Doorkickers book, I'm gonna get a Billy Tucci cover. I'm gonna launch day 1 with that cover ready to go. So
of course.
I think I'm probably gonna have 2 or 3 covers for the next one. So I got a couple of ideas about potential other artists. As much as I love Narwhal, I'll probably go with a different direction, just because I
switch it up.
Right, absolutely. Who knows? Maybe I'll do another Narwhal cover. I don't know. I mean, it's too early to tell. I haven't even finished this campaign. I'm already kind of mapping out the next one. But I'm just
I'd never. No, that's really cool ability to step up like that and offer something like that.
Yeah,
'Cause,
absolutely.
Essentially we're no names in comics. Like, we're of course we're putting together great campaigns and stuff and great looking books, but as far as like name recognition, like we're not there. And for some of these pros to step up and give us a hand on things, that's huge. Like,
It
that will really
almost
push.
worries me a little bit that stuff has kind of fallen into place, and it's like now I don't know how to like go forward. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No,
Yeah,
I'm with you.
like,
With you. My recommendation, a second recommendation, I guess, that I would give you guys is just that consistent drumbeat of communication with your audience.
of course.
I would do programmed daily tweets, and given
Mhm.
all the art and all that kind of stuff, updates and whatnot, and then I'd also I have not been perfectly good at this. I've been out 4 weeks and I've only done 2 updates, but I would do weekly updates to include like YouTube appearances and things like that. So I mean, you guys have your own channel, so that kind of helps. You don't really need to link that, but when you're on one of these bigger channels like John Malin or EVS or something like that, that's something that a lot of your backers may not see otherwise. So make sure you're throwing links out there. I've got I was supposed to put out at the beginning of the weekend, this past weekend, I was supposed to put out an update, but I screwed that up. But.
Dude, it's so much work. Like, until you actually get in it and you're doing it, like, you don't realize how much work it is to.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's mostly communicating, like just keeping it out there and everything.
Yeah, it's
and,
like I said, it's a drum beat. It doesn't. You don't have to be up every day, but you just have to do that kind of drip drab. Keeping it out there. Like I did a tweet yesterday, and I can't remember his always Charlie Oscar, I think is his name, something like that.
It's hard to keep all the
guys that you interact with on Twitter. I don't want to mess up his name because he was super helpful to me. Here it is. Charlie Hotel Romeo, right? He's just a Comicsgate guy, and he's also a big gun, and he's a patriot. So I put a tweet out, and then he tagged a bunch of like famous people that big Second Amendment people, all this kind of stuff, and I ended up getting over 35,000 impressions on that tweet.
Nice.
That's
over 700 interactions, things like that. Got a couple sales, but still, the idea is that you just got to get your book out there in front of people, and it may be
for sure,
just an initial thing, but then eventually people will come back to it. So
no, that's huge though. Like, people do, like, in this group of people, Comicsgate, like, there's guys that don't have that many followers or something, but they'll sit there and push your book out there, and they will tag other people. That's how.
And all they need to get is a hold of one person who cares about it.
Yeah.
And 35,000 people saw that. Like, that's that's insane.
Exactly.
It's so insane.
So anyway, I mean, I've just been really lucky with the people who, clearly the book is clicking with a pretty solid group of folks, and I'm looking on that tweet again to see where I'm at.
Yeah, it really kind of
46 with 672 engagements.
It kind of surprised me though, like how many guys were in the military and they're like big into comic books. Like, I never would have thought that was like, a big group of readers there. Like, it never even entered my mind. But like half the people I see in Comicsgate, they're like veterans and stuff, and you're like, what? Like, it just kind of threw me off, which is cool. Like, I'm all about it, but it kind of surprised me.
There's a lot of us out there, so.
Yeah.
Well, you get a lot of downtime, and like you can't always have electronics with you, so reading comic is and kind of an easy access. You know,
Yeah, absolutely.
entertainment when
You
you sit
don't need
around.
electricity for a trade paperback or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is cool right here. This shot. No,
Yeah,
it's
I
solid
actually
stuff.
there's this guy that goes by the name of Hanger B. He's a 3D artist that does airplane stuff, and so he saw this. He saw my campaign, and I tagged him in something because I said that in my world, the F-22 lost the competition, and the F-23 was the winner because I think the F-23 was just such a beautiful airplane. So that's the alternate history piece in my world. And I tagged him on that. And then he ended up contacting me and he's like, oh, I love your thing and blah, blah, blah. And he gave me access to the 3D model for this, this airplane. So now my artist has like all kinds of 3D models.
Yeah, to go off of.
Yeah. So you can literally spin it in any angle and all that kind of stuff. So it's really cool.
Yeah, I wish I would have done my sculpt like before I even started drawing everything, because now I've got like 3D reference. I can turn them around, put them in all different poses and stuff, and you know, have great reference for every angle of them and stuff. And yeah, now I've got that after I'm halfway through the book. But
right.
For the rest of the book, it should be a little easier. But yeah, no, this is some solid stuff though. Pretty pumped for that. Now I just need to get a paycheck in here so I can back some of these. I need to back like 5 or 6 projects right now. Like it's insane. Like
I'm with you. There are a lot of projects I want to back that I haven't backed, and that's why I'm so happy whenever I see something go in demand, because it just gives me more time to kind of put it off and back it. But, you know, there are certain people, you know, that I'm close to, and I want to make sure that
exactly,
you know, day one or as soon as I can get to it, I back it. You know.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
but you know, there are tons of
2 or 3 a month for a while. And then and then like after this summer, the money kind of dried up a little bit. So I'm like, all right, I have to cut back.
Well, for me, Mama kind of controls the purse strings. So
exactly, we were just saying that before. Like, you know, my wife takes care of all that stuff. She just takes my money. And
well, you know, that's just it. You know, I would have to like buy it and then ask forgiveness versus permission. So
yeah,
I did that one too many times, and
I mean that's good in other scenarios, but when you're living next to sleeping next to that person, I don't know if that's a good idea.
You know, Comicsgate puts you on the couch sometimes.
Yeah, I'm already driving her nuts because every day I come home from work and I'm literally working in my studio all night, and you know, she's dealing with kids and all that stuff, and I'm like,
you know, just doing this. And when I do this, I'm not in there with the kids. You know, I'm not in there with her. So, you know, it is what it is.
And then I constantly have my cell phone in my hands, like checking things, tweeting things out and stuff like that. And she's like, "What are you doing on your phone all the time?"
I know. I'm like, the same way. We all are. That's the life of Comicsgate. So.
Yeah.
Hey guys, I gotta run.
All right, man.
Hey, thanks for showing up, man. Appreciate it.
Yes, guys. It's great talking to you, man.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know, because I didn't get to hear you very much on Ethan's channel the other night. I thought you guys seemed really cool. So, and I think we all follow each other on Twitter. So I know I see you guys in all the rooms and stuff, and we've been retweeting each other's stuff. So it's always good to meet you guys.
I'm always more familiar with the projects than everybody. That like I always forget. Oh, what's he doing right now? What's that guy's project?
Yeah, it's hard to keep up, man. There's a lot of people around here.
It's hard because you can only follow so much. So you know, and sometimes it's like you're familiar with the project, but you forget exactly who did that.
Yeah, exactly.
Definitely.
Yeah, all right,
okay, man. It was great talking to you, Scott. Thanks for stopping in, man.
Letting me present this. I know, you know, the small audience live, but I know we're going to get more views over the next 24 hours. So I think just let me put my stuff in front of new people that may have not seen it before. So
For sure.
Right.
And it's
and,
good.
you know,
It's good
I'm-
practice for the big show. You know,
Yeah.
like
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. You gotta practice in the minors before you move up to the majors.
exactly. All right, Scott, you take it easy, man.
Oh
All
yeah,
right.
take it easy, man.
All right, later, dude.
All right, yeah, Scott's a cool dude.
Yeah, enjoy
All
talking
right.
to him. He's got a great looking project. Great to see the success that he's having with it. It's always good to see that. I always enjoy seeing people, that are really passionate about their project, and you know, there's some books that you see that people are just throwing it together to get a book out there, and this is obviously not one of them. This is something that
Yeah.
he's put a lot of time and effort into, and it's really awesome to see him, surpassing his goal and getting on Ethan's show and having some success with it.
Yeah, I like.
Really awesome.
Oh, what's going on? Yeah, my internet. I'm not logged in. Hold
Uh-oh.
on. Hold on. I want to see. I'm not. I already changed. I already turned it off. Got my wife telling me how to run the show.
Just don't need to dox yourself again.
Well, we're not screen sharing. Actually, there was a book today that came out, and I want to give it a little shout out because this is actually, so far of all the books that have come out, this is my favorite one. Let me see if I can. There it is. Where is it? There we go. And I'll screen share it in a mirror. Yeah, I don't know what it is. Maybe my son's still playing video games.
No, it's Comcast.
Oh. Yeah, for whatever reason, everything's slow today. So this one came out today, and I bought the first 3 when it came out before, and this is the next one. And this is T-Bird and Throttle, book 3 of 4. Dude, I love these books. Of all of the, I'm gonna try to get Josh Howard on this week.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to get him on this week. I talked to him, and he was busy tonight. I was gonna have him on tonight, but he said to try to get back to him this week. But this was absolutely, of all the Comicsgate books I backed, this was my favorite one. It's very
it's got great designs.
Yeah, it's very like Bruce Timm inspired, I guess.
Yeah,
but the story it wasn't super complicated. It was really cool. It was very kind of 90s. The characters look great. I love his style of art.
Yeah,
and this has only been out today. He's already 14%. He's a $15,000 goal. But
has he
been
promoting it a lot? Has he been promoting hard? Like
I said, it just dropped. I know he just finished the last campaign because I only got it the beginning of the summer.
Okay.
So I see him. I follow him, so I see some of the stuff he does. He's been promoting his website because he has some prints done in this style. He has like different characters drawn in this style, and one of them was the girl from Ghostbusters, the redhead, Janine.
Janine,
and it was awesome. I'm like, holy mackerel!
No, it looks great.
Yeah, his style is freaking awesome, and the story was funny and it was cool, and there's a lot of action. And
it's got real solid design.
Yeah,
colors are awesome.
Yeah, this if you're in the chat, you know what? I have this exact.
That's great. That's great. I love that.
I was looking at that the other day. I'm like, I got that jacket not too long ago. Let's see.
Yeah, now you can go cosplay as them, right?
Yeah, exactly.
That's funny. I got that same outfit there.
Let's see. Yeah, and it's just.
Oh, it's great, dude.
Yeah, and it's just. And there's the really cool thing is, let's see. He did some. There we go.
he did some homage covers,
Mm-hmm.
and he did this one's like super hot.
The She-Hulk. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my god, he did such a good job with it. And
Mhm.
then he did the Frank Miller Batman.
Yeah.
And then the other one was the Cable book.
Much more realistic than the original cover.
Yeah, he's I love his art style. I love, like I said, he's
That's great.
And look, even though he blurted out, this tweet here is mine.
Yeah.
He did he did some of the reviews of his last book, and this is a little tweet review I did. And it's blurred out, but you can see my little cowboy guy.
Yep.
Figurine.
Yep.
Yeah, so this was
made it on another campaign.
Yeah, yeah.
Is he a Comicsgate guy?
Yeah. Yeah, he's done some other stuff. I'm trying to think of. He's done some other like mainstream books, I think. But let me see.
No, I mean it's very professional.
Oh yeah, it's good. It's good. Let's see. Dead at 17. I never heard of that one. Indie action horror, Dead at 17. Actually, I think I have heard of it. Let's see. Black Harvest, The Lost Books of Eve. These are some of the other books that he did. And this is I love this book. Like I said, this whole series is really
great. Yeah, I'm gonna have to back this one. This one's sweet.
Yeah, and right now, and when you back it, you can get so you can get all four. Well, there's 4 books. It's 0 through 4. So right now you can get it and get all 4, and you can get them all with the homage covers, which is cool.
I'm wondering if I follow him already or not. Yeah, that's great, dude.
Yeah, so I'm gonna push this. I mean, probably. Well, I mean, he's at 15. It's only his day 1. He's already at 14%. So, guys, I'm gonna be pushing this book kind of hard because I really liked this series. The first 3 books, they were it was so good. It was a fun read. There was some fun because he's the main guy is like a washed up superhero kind of, and they're bringing him back, and there's a little bit of that like anti SJW stuff, but he doesn't really hit you over the head with it. Like you'll notice it when you see it, the kind of arguments against him, and but he doesn't really beat you over the head with it. So it's the story's really good. It flows well, and there's some fun like 90s superhero kind of callback stuff.
Yeah. Now I'm retweeting a bunch of his stuff right now. Yeah, this is great. I follow him and I didn't see any of the stuff on my feed, which really sucks because it's great.
Yeah, I didn't know he'd. I knew he was going to release a issue 3. I knew he was going to, but I didn't know when. And then it was like, oh, it popped up in my feed today. I was like, oh, can't miss that. And unfortunately, I think something that I already backed earlier is going to refund. So I don't.
Oh, really?
He doesn't think I don't want to put it out, but which one it is. But I don't think he's going to make it. And I want him to succeed. So I'm not. I don't want to blast that out. But and I think he's been honest about it too. I think he said it on his own channel. But I don't want to put out negative vibes because it's a project that I'm kind of excited about.
Yeah. No, I mean stuff happens. Like, like when you sign up for this stuff, like, you're not really. I mean, people promise it to you, but you don't really know until it's in your hands, and it's a done deal.
Yeah, as much as everybody has been like, you're going to do well and all this other stuff. And I like the good vibes and stuff, but I'm always still like overcautious. But all right, I want to make sure we don't overstep. Yeah,
like I'm I'm super excited about our campaign launching and all that, but I will not, I'm not putting any down payments on anything, or
Yeah, exactly.
like I'm being realistic about all this stuff.
Yeah, I'm not getting that new car just yet.
Not yet.
Break even.
But you'll still get a you'll still get a new gun though.
No.
Guns.
Yeah.
There's plenty of guns, plural, in the house. I think at last count we were at 10.
11.
See?
All right, but
you should have stuck with 10.
Yeah,
You
thanks for
should've just told
calling me
her
out
it
there,
was
Sweens. Now she's gonna be looking.
Oh, I'm sorry.
She knows about all of them already.
Yeah, well, all the
Are they?
I have like a
Do you have
number
them, like-
in my head anyway of because anything I get is going to be going towards my next project, something I'm putting together. So I want to make sure everything that we fund, we get fund good. So I have at least a nice like retainer to give to a good artist.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think the more I've been going over the story for this next project, the more I'm like, yeah, I think this will really work. Getting into the lore and getting into some of the action and some of the scenes I'm thinking about, I think it's going to be pretty good.
That's awesome. Oh, Captain F Head just posted up the inked up drawing he was doing. I'm seeing some cool work coming our way though. It's pretty cool. Okay, all right. My son is still awake. 10:42. Just okay.
You smell my name.
All right, buddy. Okay. Well, I'm gonna have to get going here. I gotta get this kid to sleep. Oh,
Yeah,
goodness.
that's no problem.
And then after he goes to sleep, I get to work more.
Yay!
I'm real excited about that. Yay! Yeah, it just doesn't stop.
We should probably get that
goodness.
pin up. I don't know how long it's going to take you. That's really just putting the logo on the pin up, right? The for the trailer thing.
Oh. Mm-hmm.
So that because
You're talking about the one where he's sitting in the chair?
do we even have to put him sitting in the chair? To tell you the truth.
Not really.
Yeah, I'm wondering. I don't think that's even necessary.
It's a pretty iconic image. I think it's something that
I think we just stick the logo up because
can hold on.
That's another piece. I want to make sure there's as much art up there that people can see, kind of what they're getting.
Mm-hmm.
And I want some more in the some more pictures in the story write-up area. Stick a few pictures in there too.
Yeah.
You know we're still alive.
Definitely.
We're not talking about anything secret, really.
Yeah, we've been pretty open about everything, really.
Yeah, I mean, there's some
okay
stuff we've been trying to keep the names down and that kind of stuff until we get in there. So, all right. Well, you have a good night. I'm gonna shut down the stream. Thank you, everybody.
You did the same. Yep.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody. In the
you guys
chat.
all take it easy.
Yeah, I'm probably going to be streaming all week, probably every night. If I'm not on my channel, we're going to try to get on other people's channels. I'm going to try. I talked to what's his name, Josh Howard today. So we're going to try to have him on next week or this week. Sometime.
That'd be awesome.
Talk about this T-Bird and Throttle book because I'm super excited about it.
Yeah, it looks great.
All right, you all have a good night. We'll see you later this week.
All right, take it easy, guys.
Yeah, bye-bye.
All right, bye.